Hello, hello, hello for you first timers. My name is Patrick Allmond. I run a digital marketing agency here in Oklahoma City, and I also run Stop Doing Nothing business coaching. And today is a little bit of a different thing. I thought rather than talk about a mindset issue, let's just talk about, we're in the gift giving season. Whether you believe it or not, Christmas is here and the world is going crazy. It seems these days Christmas talk starts in and about October, if not September sometimes, and goes all the way through the end of January. So we're wrapping up for that. And it would be good if you helped that fellow entrepreneur in your life get smarter and do more. So as you're listening, do me a favor, chime in with where you are listening from and what brought you here, and maybe some of the gift ideas that you've had for the entrepreneur in your life. I've made a list here, and in some cases, I'm going to have specific product and brand recommendations. In some cases, I'm not. And the cases that I don't, trust me, anything you can buy in this family of products would be great for your entrepreneur. Sometimes the specifics don't matter. We're going to be talking about, lights for cameras to help your entrepreneur do better videos. Oftentimes, the lights don't matter. They're pure white lights, and, there's 1,000 of them. We're going to be talking about a ring light. I can't even remember the model of ring light I have that I'm using here. But you know what? It cost me 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon. It doesn't seem just about everything costs on Amazon. And just get one. It doesn't really matter. So let's kind of run through this list here. And like I said, chime in with your gift ideas or things you bought in the past for yourself or for a loved one that really helped them in their business. The first one, because I'm such a big video guy, comes to mind is a good camera. Now, as you know, I preach so much that we have a portable video studio in our phone. This one here is the iPhone, the biggest iPhone X they make, I believe. And then we've since come out with the iPhone 11. But if you are in the, there's two possibilities here. First of all, we're talking either portable cameras or web cameras. When we're talking portable cameras, you can go out and get yourself a good Sony or a good Panasonic HD. I have one of those, one of the big ones. Sits on a tripod and have SD cards. That's great also. I am really a fan of using your phone, obviously, because these phones are so damn good these days. Man, I can't even imagine what the iPhone 12 is going to look like, because the iPhone 11 Pro looks like just a badass phone. I mean, with the 3 cameras and I'm so excited. But if you are close to upgrading your phone, then that would be a purchase that you could legitimize for the entrepreneur in your life. Get them the latest iPhone, assuming you can write it off as a business expense, obviously, but that they'll also actually use it. Sometimes people ask, I've had fellow business owners ask, what phone do I get for business? I mean, do I get the lowest model one? Do I get the one with the biggest memory? My opinion is always get the one with the most memory and the one with the highest quality lenses. And that is right now the iPhone 11 Pro version. It's expensive as get out, but it produces great video as long as you are a good storyteller. If you're a good storyteller, you can definitely take advantage of it. My iPhone X is great, produces great HD video. I mean, this thing records 4K video. I don't record 4K video because it takes up a lot of storage, but it looks amazing. So, for an offline camera, consider getting one of these. Also consider getting a tripod and one of the adapters where basically you can put the camera on the tripod and hold it sideways. I don't know where mine is right now in the office. I would show it to you. But yeah, basically it holds your iPhone in landscape mode, which is how you always want to record, and they can put it on a tripod and record it that way. So if you're going for portable video, I would definitely recommend an iPhone, or, you know what, I am sure there's some great Samsung phones out there. I just don't know about them because I basically lick Apple's boots. I buy everything Apple makes. I've got the watch, I've got the laptop, I've got the iPad, I've got a keyboard, I've got a mouse. I've got the phone, obviously, and someplace else I'm sure I've got some more Apple stuff. Maybe the AirPods will be in my future. You hear that, Santa Claus? Maybe AirPods will be in my future. So that's one idea for portable video. I'm not going to give you any recommendations on the handheld, bigger kind of cameras because that's a wide open field, and I would not even consider myself remotely an expert there. I bought a used HD one on Amazon a few years ago. I absolutely loved it. So with a lot of that stuff, when you buy it used or refurbished, that's where you're going to get your best prices, and it's also going to be in great shape. So that's camera-wise for portable cameras. For computer cameras like the one you're watching me through here, this is a Logitech C920, and I believe the latest one is the C922. I think the C920 was right around $100, and the 922 was maybe 125 or 150, I don't really recall, but that is kind of the de facto standard right now when it comes to webcams. Apologize, I feel a sneeze coming on. And that's what I've used for all my live shows when I'm in front of the computer. It's got a USB connector on the other end. Every single piece of software I've ever played with uses this camera and uses it well. It has settings for it. It knows how to project a good HD video. It's got built-in microphones, so if you didn't want to buy a separate microphone, you're kind of covered there, and they're not bad quality from what I hear. I've used it before. You may hear, you're looking at me in the lens, and there's a microphone on the left, and there's a microphone on the right there. And so it's stereo, so you get basically a really good camera and stereo audio for $100. Outside of that, when I'm not using this camera and I'm on the road, I'm using the camera that's built into the laptop. That one's also very good, and obviously you can't buy that. But do realize that if you're an entrepreneur on a budget, and who isn't, there's a camera built into your laptop right there. It works just fine. But yeah, the Logitech C920 or 922, if you can find one at a bargain or even brand new, get that. It will allow them to do great webcasts, great Zoom calls, great Skype calls, great HD video, and great audio. So we've got portable camera, and then the other camera is kind of like I said, is more of a computer camera. By the way, this Logitech, if I'm not mistaken, I can't see the bottom of it, but if I'm not mistaken, it even has that little tripod connector for you to be able to screw a tripod in the bottom there. Speaking of which, and this wasn't on my list, over here on my list of video equipment, get your entrepreneur a desktop tripod. This one is, it doesn't say who it is, but again, right there, Mini D is what I believe that says. Yeah, there we go, Mini D right there. When I went shopping for one, I wasn't really too terribly picky, and that's okay. I mean, for the most part, a tripod, they're not made out of paper. They're going to be made out of metal or aluminum. This one looks like it's aluminum with some steel reinforcements here. It's got the standard screw here, and you camera folks probably know what that screw is called, but it's on the bottom of every camera. And it can also go sideways, if it needs to right there. So it can go top-wise. It can go sideways. There's this right here tightens it to the bottom of the camera, and this right here tightens the little ball joint right there. Obviously, you can have it about this tall, which is, I'm never a good one for measurement. Maybe that's 8 to 9 inches or so. And you can put it like that. You can compress it up like this. Put that up there, tighten all of it, and drop that in your briefcase also. So this had to have been like less than 50 bucks. This was next to nothing also. It's got good rubber feet also. So in my particular case, I have my camera on the top of a big giant monitor, but that same camera has the female adapter for the screw. So if I wanted to, I could put that right underneath that camera and keep it right on my desk. So a good desktop tripod is good. I don't have it on here, but a good freestanding tripod. And again, that equipment's put away. I should have had all this out for you, but a good freestanding tripod that maybe goes up to 5 or 6 feet. And that's the one I'm talking about where it's like, imagine this, but one that stands on the floor, but still comes up to about this high. So again, I was able to find one at Best Buy years ago for $99. The one I bought is a tripod and a monopod, which means it can be used with a regular camera, a DSLR camera. As opposed to having 3 feet, you can have 1 feet, and you can basically walk around with that and use it for point and click shooting. So that wasn't on my list, but as soon as I'm talking about cameras, I'm thinking about tripods also. So outside of that, if we keep on going, now we're getting into lights. Lighting is extremely important. These days, it's hard to find a bad camera, okay? I'll just put it right out there. Any camera you buy is going to be HD or 4K. It's just hard to find a horrible camera. That didn't used to be the case. Nowadays, what I see people screwing up on most of the time is lighting and sound. The audio that you're hearing from me right now is going into a Blue Yeti microphone. And obviously the picture is coming out from my HD camera. But the lighting, I have a ring light here, and I cannot remember which one it is. But ring lights have become really popular recently. Thank you, Kardashians. Because every teenage girl wants to start a YouTube channel and do a makeup show. And so these ring lights, and you can't see it obviously, but right next to the camera here, there's a little thing that basically my phone would clip in sideways. So as I'm putting on my blush and my mascara, all that would be captured great. This light also has some variable intensities. I always use the pure white mode, but I believe there's some off-white, kind of an eggshell color also. I don't know why you would use that. In my life, unless I'm intoxicated, you're never ever going to see me making a makeup video there. But these things are just so extremely popular. You can find them at Best Buy. You can find them, like I said, online at Amazon, because so many of us shop at Amazon. There's the dime a dozen. So consider getting your entrepreneur buddy or your entrepreneur spouse a ring light, and the ring light also comes with a tripod. So this setup I have here behind me on my desk right now could actually be freestanding on the ground also. So if I wanted to, I could sit in an office chair, clip the phone in, turn on the light, and make my video that way. And I would have really great lighting. Why a ring light, people can ask? Because a ring light gives a very good balanced lighting situation. The other option, if you don't have a ring light, is to get a multi-light setup, which takes up a lot more space and is a little bit more expensive. Still a good setup. What you're going to find on Amazon for lighting kits is going to be a 3-point lighting kit, and that's usually going to be, you use one at like 245-degree angles from the camera, and then you use one for a backlight in case you're doing chroma key work, or you just want your subject backlit, which is always a good idea. So if you have lots of space, look at a 3-point lighting kit. If you're limited on space, or you want this to be portable, get a ring light. It's like I said, it makes for a very balanced lighting situation. I've been told ever since I started using a ring light that it comes out a little bit better, and the other lights require a lot more space and a lot more time to get out and get set up. So lights, camera, microphones. Like I told you earlier, this Logitech C920 comes with a stereo microphone setup, so that could be good enough. Your laptops and desktops these days all come with microphones. However, if you really want high quality, let me just pick this puppy up over here and bring it over here so you can see it. There's my very cool THX. As a matter of fact, cover your ears for a second. I can tap that right there. And that's where the audio is coming from that I use for my live streams. This reminds me of very kind of old school radio station microphones. Those things used to be ginormous and very heavy, but also very high quality. So this thing is heavy. This is heavier than my laptop, I think, right here. A good solid steel base. It swivels. It's got a headphone connector, so if I'm doing a podcast or I'm doing a Zoom call, I can actually plug my headphones into that and use that for the microphone. I'm not getting that room feedback. The high ends of this actually also have a 3-pin XLR connector on the bottom. So, right there where you're seeing, let's see where it is. Oh, there you go. Right there where you see that, it has the professional microphone connector. By the way, that's a screw-in area right there also. I could actually mount this on a shock mount and on a tripod. So again, it's made to be out of the box. It's the consumer level microphone, but if I want to mount it on a shock mount, I actually take these screws off of the side, buy a shock mount tripod, mount it on that screw in the bottom, and all of a sudden my desktop USB microphone becomes one of those freestanding tripod-based microphones over my head, which I can use for a more professional setup. So a lot of the equipment I'm describing to you comes in like a consumer mode, but you can flip the script real quick and use it in more of a professional mode. So like I said, the Blue Yeti company, or the Yeti company, makes a good series of microphone. I've had this one for several years. It cost me $99, and it has lasted. It's not the least bit dented. It also has different settings in the back. Has a squelch, has a gain setting, and it has a squelch setting or a microphone pattern setting, so you can kind of adjust if you have multiple people in the room where the audio is coming from. So that's what we're talking about for hardware right there. Good, easy selection for cameras, lights, and mics. Another idea I had for your entrepreneur is look at some conferences next year that they have talked about going to and buy them a ticket there. Traffic and Conversion is a big one. I believe that one's in January or February in San Diego. From there, we've got like Funnel Hacking Live. We've got the Rate Makers Conference. There's Grant Cardone's 10X Growth Conference in Florida someplace. But look at some of the smaller ones. I have to admit that some of the really big conferences are kind of intimidating. When you go to a conference and there's 5,000 people, it can really be overwhelming. So if you have an entrepreneur who might be a little bit more of an introvert, which a lot of them are, not I, going to a smaller conference might be a better bet. I would also suggest looking for one where it makes you want to go to that location already. There's one thing when it comes to going to a conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's pretty darn cool though to go to a conference in some place that's on the coast, like San Diego is a good place for conferences. Florida, Miami is a good place for conferences. New York, personally, I like going to New York for conferences also. So consider, a kind of making it maybe a destination vacation and conference all at one. Take your spouse or your buddy out to San Diego and go hang out in the San Diego coast. Go check out where they're filming. I believe that's where they're filming Top Gun is at Fighter Training School there in San Diego. That's coming out in June. Pretty badass. Don't get me started on how stoked I am for the Top Gun movie. But yeah, just consider buying your loved one a conference admission. I've usually had a lot of growth when I go to conferences. The networking is phenomenal. The exchange of business cards is phenomenal. Yes, bring business cards because you may only have a couple of seconds to interact with somebody. So you have to go old school when you go to conferences. But giving someone the gift of networking, and it's implied marketing, and it's also obviously a great growth and great learning opportunity. That's something else that you consider getting, which most spouses wouldn't think of. Most spouses are going to wait for their entrepreneur buddy, the husband or the wife, to basically buy the ticket themselves. Well, heck, why not spend the money and buy it anyways for them, especially ones they've talked about. Maybe look on their Facebook timeline of things they've commented on or other things like that to figure out where they want to go. So growth conferences, a great idea. You might also consider ones that are more personal development related and personal improvement related versus ones that are specifically marketing related. So there's some ideas for you there. Books, I was going to go through a few books here that I recommend, and I actually got some on the bookshelf here. For books, I could not find the number one recommendation I had on here, which is 80/20 in Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. And the reason I cannot find that darn book is because I have a lot of them and I give them away all the time. And I may have one in a box someplace or in a remote bookcase. But yeah, 80/20 in Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. Perry Marshall also writes an AdWords book. 80/20, The Ultimate Guide to Google AdWords, I think. It's a big, giant, thick, horrendous book, which is pretty awesome. I'm a big Perry Marshall fan. So consider getting your loved one the 80/20 in Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. I've actually had 30 or 40 of them at once because I just give them away like candy. So that was the very first one on my list. And if they're more of a listener, consider getting the Audible version. I have the Audible book also. Very, very good idea. The other option I had on there when it came to books is anything from Jeffrey Gitomer right here. Okay, Jeffrey Gitomer makes a series of books. I believe there are 6 to 8 of them. These are the 2 that I own, and I constantly tell my family that maybe get me the whole set. I believe you can buy them as a whole set. But I like the one of Connections and Selling. These are the 2 that I bought for myself. Very well written. I don't know if you're watching this, Jeffrey, but we've actually met a couple of times, I think at an NSA conference, just kind of hanging out. I'm a big fan of Jeffrey's work, and I also like Jeffrey's delivery style. He's just very much a no bullshit presenter, teacher, speaker, however you want to call him. So consider getting someone the whole set of Jeffrey Gitomer books. And like I said, they're all different colors, and I believe there's a series of 4 or 6 you can buy, and that would really outfoot your buddy's library there. So anything from Jeffrey Gitomer is a good idea. Also on my list, I had any of the books by Dan Kennedy. I've got a variety of them around the house. Let me see here. I've got these 2 by Dan Kennedy, and I saw another one when I was just scanning this particular bookcase. So these are the 3 that I could find off the top of my head right here. And oftentimes, Dan Kennedy wrote these in congruence with somebody else. But he's got several no BS books. That's the one I have here for pricing strategy. The Ultimate Sales Letter is another one that I'm a fan of right there. And also the Ultimate Marketing Plan. This is 3 books. I have a feeling that Dan Kennedy wrote probably about 70 or 80. And I'm making that number up, but good gosh, the guy is smart and wrote a lot of books. Also, you know what? As I'm going through my close bookcase right here, some of the other ones that really come to mind that I'm a big fan of, that I have to admit I've read over and over, are the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. Right there, I've got a lot of Tony Robbins stuff myself. And also, I'm also a big fan of John Jant's work. So, the referral engine is one that I've read time and time again. For some reason, I choose to keep my car title in here. I have no idea why. Oh, I'm going to need that at some point in time. Car title. But the referral engine, the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, I like. The Dan Kennedy stuff, and the Jeffrey Gitomer stuff, and then 80/20 in Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall, all really good books. And the last thing I would say that would be really quite amazing is to consider getting your loved one some of their own apparel. And as you see right here, I'm wearing a Stop Doing Nothing shirt. You can get this shirt or any other shirt that we have in our store at store.stopdoingnothing.com, or just go to the main website and go shopping there. However, how do I do this? I'll be perfectly happy to reveal my secrets here because you can use them also. Secrets. You can use a service called Printful, which we use, printful.com. And you can go there and design shirts, hats, leggings, sports bras, hoodies, backpacks. You can design whatever you want there for free and then have one-off versions of them printed and mailed someplace. So if your buddy runs badasswebdesigncompany.com, you can have a single shirt made or 50 shirts made that say badasswebdesign.com. And if they have a tagline, you can have the tagline put here, the tagline put on the back. You basically fully design it. And so what I do is I either use their internal designer or I use Canva at canva.com, and I design shirts for my brand. And what's happening basically is people are liking them, and so I had to set up a store. So again, my store is at store.stopdoingnothing.com, but that's not to plug that and to get you to go there and buy. My whole point is you can take any wording and get shirts printed on it. I'm a big fan of red and white on black. So as you can see here, I've got this and I've got this on the back, but I did all that. I'm a horrible designer, but I did all that with their design tool and with canva.com. Printed this, mailed this to myself. I've got several Stop Doing Nothing shirts. And so if you really want to get a very cool personalized gift, go to printful.com and have something custom printed for your entrepreneur that they can wear around. That's basically like free advertising, and it's branding for them. So again, that's at printful.com, printful.com, and that will really kind of make their day also. So it's kind of a quick recap for gift ideas for the entrepreneur. We've got cameras, lights, mics, all good things to help them make video, because everyone I talk to in the entrepreneur world always says, Patrick, you do great videos. I want to do more videos like you. How do I get started? Well, the quickest answer I say is get out your phone and make a video today. That's the biggest one. That's easy right there. But as I gave you earlier in the video, there's an equipment list here that I recommend. Buy them a conference admission as part of a gift, especially a destination one. Trust me, your spouse would love you if you bought them, admission to a marketing conference in Spain or in France or something like that. Like I said, my personal preferences are San Diego, New York, and Florida. That's where I love to go for conferences. Books, anything by Perry Marshall, 80/20 in AdWords, the Ultimate Guide to AdWords is good, and 80/20 in Sales and Marketing. The Jeffrey Gitomer books I love, and anything by Dan Kennedy I'm absolutely a fan of also. You can get these all for all great prices on Amazon. And the ultimate gift you can get for your entrepreneur buddy is to basically help them make their own shirts, or make them a shirt and have it shipped to them, or probably even better, make a custom shirt for them, have it shipped to you. And like I said, you can get other things there. You can get them a custom hoodie if they're a hoodie person. You can, in my store, I have custom hats, I have custom shirts, I have custom notebooks, and all that stuff is print on demand, one-off print on demand stuff. And you talk about branding, talk about something that make an entrepreneur feel great. That would do it right there. Hey, as always, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor every single time you watch one of our videos. Consider sharing it, subscribing on YouTube, subscribe over on Facebook, or go pick up the podcast in Alexa, in iTunes. All these videos are turned into podcasts. If you're listening to the podcast, do me a favor. Go over and subscribe for the videos on YouTube. YouTube subscribers really help us. And if you want more information about our coaching, head over to stopdoingnothing.com and find something there that you see as a great solution for your business or for your life, and get a hold of us. And my team here will make you the badass you are destined to be. It's been a great time talking to you. December 18th, about 10:30 U.S. Central Time. As always, go out there, take action today, be a beautiful badass, and let's get some things done in this world. We'll talk to you soon.